Hey, YouTubers and friends, how are all of you doing tonight? As you know, this is my favorite night, and it's all your fault. No, I'm just kidding. We have Southern gentleman for our guest tonight, Riley from Civil War Unearthed. It should be a really good show, and I told him to pick out some treasure porn, so he'll have some stuff to show you later. But get ready, buckle in. We're gonna have a great time. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Hey, YouTubers and friends, thanks for joining us for another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live with Toledo Jess, Gano, the Treasure Vixen, and I.
Be quiet. Shh, nobody say nothing.
Nobody say nothing.
I meant it when I said your mic's hot.
We know you did. Does it look like we care?
Oh, I know you do, Jesse, even though it looks like you don't give a flying.
I'm not live. Oh, now I'm live.
Yeah, it's on like a two or 3 second delay.
Yeah.
No, I was my YouTube wasn't live.
Oh,
you know how it stops sometimes. You don't realize you're not live anymore.
Right.
You know, I hate that.
We're having a Joyzy History Hunter raid right now.
All right.
The dudes and their crew are piling in.
Yes. I'm in the chat.
I don't know.
Yes, I'm in the chat. I'm here. Let me say hi.
Say hi in the chat, Jesse.
I did, I think. No, what the hell? How do you computer, man? What the heck?
How you doing, Bill? Ohio Relic Hunter, GoPro Unlimited.
No. Let's try this. Hi.
Luminous Grin. Hello.
Hi, Holly. Hi, David Villa. Digging with Deej. Ooh, I heard some news about Digging with Deej. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, wow. Cool.
It's true.
Hey, there's Mrs. Briggs. How are you tonight?
Oh, yeah. Wonderful. How are you? How are you doing, Toledo Jess?
I'm doing great.
Don't forget
Mr. Lodak, the world's greatest moderators in the house.
Lodak.
Good thing, too, man.
Metallic A, heavy metal detecting.
Wayne Nugget Brain Peterson.
Did
What's
heavy
up?
metal change
Wayne?
his name again?
I don't know.
Carrie Curry, how are you?
Rod F.
We have the JP
Rod F.
family in the house and the dogs.
And the dogs.
FK
And the dogs.
Burnsham, good to see you. Benzo Bro.
Yep, he did. He changed his name. Metallic A.
Jeez, your name has a revolving flipping door to it, buddy.
What's up, Ohio Relic Hunter? What's up, Bill?
Yeah.
Wayne Nugget Brain Peterson. He's the president of WATS, Worldwide Association of Treasure Hunters, I believe it is, something like that. But if you want to contact him, they have great outings in the Colorado area.
Wait, I think
email. What?
Go ahead. Finish.
Finish. Talk.
Hurry.
No, I'm done.
Okay.
Done.
I think. Wait a minute. What? I think Terry's been Shanghai. He's on a container ship on the dock. What?
I just watched one of the largest container ships to dock in North America leave Halifax for New York. 16,000 containers. Now back to the goal.
No, read that again, Ed. 160,000.
160,000. What'd I say?
60,000.
Sure.
I don't know.
Now I want to get out a couple of birthdays. If you're here, you're here. If not, oh well. Maybe if I see you, we might say it again. Happy birthday, Charles Muller. See you at Flash Bash, along with Gold Rush, California, or California Gold Rush.
Adam.
Adam, happy birthday. We'll see you at Flash Bash too. Top Cat, hey buddy.
Oh,
Oh, Heavy Meadow Detective has, how many channels do you have, dude?
what's up, Top Cat?
That's okay. Just press like in every one, brother. Let me
Oh,
see.
look, the other Ed. What's up, buddy?
I just saw someone. Marlon, good to see you. Brandon, Alabama Dirt Digger, good to see you. All of you. Anyone say hi to David Villa?
I did.
Okay. Okay, just double checking.
Oh,
Hey,
you can't.
Two
I already
Toes,
did.
if you're there lurking. Jeff might be at, not you, Outdoor Influencer, but hello, buddy. Smith's Gold might be at baseball. If not, and he's lurking. How you doing, brother?
ERRT's here. He just showed up.
ERRT's here.
You're late by 9 minutes, dude.
Oh, 1 minute too long.
Just wait
I
till
come-
Flash Bash. Ooh. I
Close,
tell you,
Steve
Sonny
Adams.
Jim, we're gonna get you. We're gonna throw you in the shallow end of the creek. Just
Steve,
kidding.
did you see that? Steve Adams from Mississippi.
Welcome, Steve. Welcome to the Flash fam. Our
Terry
friends
Marshall.
from down under. Terry, good to see you as always.
And then let me go back here a second. Terry Curry retyped that and said, I lost it. 16,000.
Oh, hey, J. Paul. It's nice to see you.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, J. Paul. Ambient Girl, hi, Nancy. And Backyard Treasures, if you're here.
I can't
Hello,
find it.
Sandy Coils. I like that.
SND Coils. Yeah. Nice.
Central
Sandy
Virginia Relic
Coils.
Recovery. How are you?
Nice.
Tidewater magnet thrower.
He said he'd be back, and he showed back up. He's a man of his word.
Good man. Good man. They're all great people. All great people.
Outdoor influencer. How you doing tonight?
Yeah, maybe one year he'll make it to Flash Bash.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
Hey, he may get an opportunity to get this though.
That's right. Why don't we pin you up and you can tell them all about that, Jess?
Fine. I guess. So, I started a sticker wall, right? Remember? And I had all these stickers, and I'm doing T-shirts now. I thought, let's do a sticker T-shirt. So this is what I come up with. Can you see it?
Look very closely.
That's good, yeah.
So that's the front.
Kevin Hubbard. So many good channels on there. Snorkel Pirate, Kevin Hubbard. Who else we got? The Treasure Vixens.
They're there too. Ride for the Hills.
Jersey History Hunters.
Yeah, you Jersey History Hunters are there. Yeah, there they are right there.
There's Big AU.
And if you notice, there's room for more.
Lots more, guys.
There's room for more, but I don't have any more.
Hint, hint.
But what's your plans with that, Jesse? Do tell.
I want to raffle the shirt off. From now until Flash Bash.
And that's let me see. That'd be 6-5.
Right. Yeah, David. As soon as hasn't been washed yet, David. But as soon as I wash it, when I get done doing all the prints on there, then yes, it'll hang to dry. But anyways, so we're gonna sell tickets for $1 a piece.
Hi, Jeff Otworth.
What's up, Jeff? We want to sell tickets for $1 a piece. The proceeds, the first $20 goes to pay for the shirt. The rest of it goes to flashing your pan. So you're contributing to the channel. Okay. So I'm gonna do another shirt like this one for Flash Bash, and we'll probably raffle that off with other stuff, part of the door prizes. So if you want your sticker on this shirt, email me a file with your sticker on it to Toledo Jess at AOL.com. Everybody should be able to get some email to AOL. So, and if you want tickets,
Rusty wants to know what size is it?
this one is a extra large.
Extra large, Rusty.
So if you're skinny, it's a sleep shirt. Fits
What's
either way.
an AOL?
It's an
It's
AOL.
an L minus a laugh out loud. But, you know AOL, you've got mail.
You got mail. You want to hear it? No.
If you guys remember dial-up internet.
Oh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Had 3 minutes of that.
I hear
before
you,
finally
Tide
hook up.
Water.
So Ed, how do they pay for this? How
Well,
do they do it?
I have a link to my PayPal me pinned up in the chat right now. And just put in what it's for in the note. I'll put you on a list. I have a Google spreadshirt for sticker tees Raz. And I'll make that public here after the show's all done. I'll put it down in the description and put one on my community tab and so forth. Yada
So
yada
if you-
yada. Send me
if
a
you wanna-
picture
if
of
you-
the shirt too, Jesse.
Yeah, I will. If you want your sticker on it, email me the file for it.
Well,
you want a
Bill
ticket
Marsh
for it-
has 5 tickets already.
If you want a ticket for it, email where Ed said. And if your file gets here and I'm able to put it on there, I'll do it. No problem. I got room.
And I'm putting Bill
But if you want yours to be big like this, send it soon, because the more I get, the later I get them, the smaller they'll get to fit on there. So
Remember, guys, if you're not first, you're last.
yeah.
Actually, Bill, Ohio Relic Hunter
I got emails already, dude.
Ohio Relic Hunter, he has a like new Garrett Carrot for sale for $99, I believe. If you're interested, hit him up on Facebook. If you know who he is, I'm sure you know his name. So, hey Chris, how you doing?
Chris.
Caitlin.
Mr. Lodek said, wow, AOL is faster than it used to be.
Yeah, it works out good.
Holly
All my
got
mail comes there.
15. Okay, I'll update the spreadsheet when I see it all. I don't want to open up any unnecessary tabs during the show. So I don't want to throw a wrench into the cogs, so to speak. But thank you, Rusty and Holly. Thank you, our friend Bill. Uh, I have 45 likes, GoPro Unlimited. Thank you for saying that.
Hey, we're up to what? I see. Well, let me refresh.
Good day, Don G. Also, those in the community, if you don't know, our friend Mike Browning from M&M Prospecting lost his father the other day.
Right.
If you know HD Shovelhead, or if not, and you know Eminem, go over to HD's channel. He has a very heartfelt, touching video about it. He says what I would say, so I'm saying it now instead of making a whole different video about it. But Flash in Your Pan has contributed. Michael is the only breadwinner in the house at this time, and he has to take time off to take care of family things. So, HD, our brother, uh, has called the community into action, so to speak. So, but if you know him and love him like I do, and the rest of us here at Flash in Your Pan, I know you'll do whatever you can. I'm not telling you to break the bank. Every little penny helps. But there's a public service announcement, I guess. I don't know. Something for our great community here. No matter what appendage you are on the hand of treasure
That's right.
hunters.
Right.
The hand.
That's
The
right,
hand.
the hand.
Ed, the other Ed, email me your file for your sticker. I don't have one, and I need it for the shirt. Yes, yes.
Yes, yes, please do that.
See, and some of you are thinking, well, how come you don't have my sticker? I know you. I sent you a sticker because they're on my board.
They're on the board, or they're in an envelope that says Dan Vixens or Jesse at my
That's what I
house.
was gonna say. Is that
Yeah,
Ed hanging on
and
him?
the one,
You're
the
waiting for
ones,
your sticker.
the ones that I haven't put on the board are here and there.
Sorry
So
I
it's a good
missed
thing I
it,
didn't put them on the board
JP.
yet.
Sorry I missed the bar, JP. I worked a lot of double shifts remodeling a Arby's, and I was like beat over the weekend. So all I did was sit around with the better half, watch the boob tube, and chillaxed. So,
So yeah, JP did do some raising for them for Eminem as well, and it looks like he just said Benzo has a $2 event for them going on as well, guys.
all right, thank you.
Yeah, this community, you guys, this community is really, it's the best. You can't beat it. The people in this community are amazing, and I think you're all amazing.
Well, Michael and Melissa are two great people. They give the shirt off their back to help someone in need. They're personal friends of ours. Also, they've been to every Flash Bash so far. So, and many more to come, I hope. So,
Yep.
not to sound like we're at church or nothing, but hey, we are a congregation of like-minded people in the treasure hunting niche, no matter what sub-niche you belong to. So, and speaking of niches of treasure hunters, let's get our guest on before he falls asleep. He said earlier in pre-show his attention was about 30 minutes, and we're getting really close to that.
Oh, before he comes on though, I have to yell at Rusty to get a design for their logo.
Oh,
Get it done, Rusty.
get it done, Rusty, or Holly's gonna get you. Or no gold for you at Flash Bash. What the tarnation? Oh, okay. We need to give a nuclear super chat
Oh, yeah.
to Flower Gold Wizard. Thanks for the super chat.
Did he see who's on the front of the shirt?
Oh, I don't know, but we have Flower Gold Wizard right there on the shirt, right there. And hopefully one day, Jason the Mason, you'll be able to make it to Flash Bash. We'd love to have you. It'd be a great 20th anniversary getaway. I wink wink. So all right. All right. Awesome. Thank you very much, Flower Gold Wizard. And
Nice.
I think I'll give a portion of that to M&M Prospecting.
There you go.
Now let's
Hello,
bring
Wisconsin
up our guest,
Gold Rush.
Raleigh. Huh?
I said, hello, Wisconsin Gold Rush.
Oh. Hi, Wisconsin Gold Rush. How you doing? Duff Spyder, good to see you. Riley, wake up.
Hey,
buddy. How you
wait.
doing?
I'm awake.
Wake up.
How's
I
the South
can't
treating you today?
Getting hotter, but still tolerable right now.
I bet the snakes are starting to come out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there was a snake in my flower bed about an hour ago. So they're definitely out.
Well, hopefully it was non-venomous.
No, it was just a rat snake. So
Oh, they're good. Good.
yeah,
Man, those are good snakes.
he's eating the copperheads.
They're
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Gotta keep those good snakes around. They all have a purpose.
Yeah.
They definitely. Now, how much do you worry about like cottonmouths and other poisonous snakes in the south when you're out in the bush and stuff?
I don't have to worry about it too much. I rarely see them. I've probably seen 3 or 4 poisonous snakes in the last 5 years while I've been out in the woods digging. So I really don't have that many problems with them. The population on them is down exponentially around here because people keep killing the poisonous ones. So they're really not much of a threat anymore. Really the last poisonous one I saw was about maybe a month and a half ago. It was just a little copperhead on the middle of the road. But other than that, I hadn't seen one in the last year. And I've been out all over the woods. I've seen all kinds of other snakes, but no poisonous ones. So that's a plus.
That's good. Are they as tasty as rattlesnake?
I wouldn't know. I'll leave that for y'all to figure out.
I know rattlesnake can be pretty tasty. So
that's what I've heard before.
The Flower Gold Wizard says poisonous snakes taste better.
Well, I know rattlesnakes taste good, Jason. I know rattlesnake tastes good. I've had a share of them out in Arizona. So
Same here. My papa made rattlesnake chili all the time. I grew up on it.
oh,
Yeah.
nice.
I'm glad we don't have rattlesnakes here. I don't have to worry about them.
We used to have a lot of rattlesnakes around here in Ohio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but with population and clearing and building new homes, and it pretty much killed them and drove them out. I don't think they've had rattlesnakes in this area. Oh, I want to say 40, maybe 50 years.
Yeah.
Rattlesnake tastes like bald eagle. So
Never had bald eagle.
I thought it tasted more like chicken. I haven't ate bald eagle yet, but you never know. You never know.
That's right, Tomcat. It tastes like chicken.
Right. I'm sure if Topcat cooked it, it tastes like damn good chicken too. I've ate that man's cooking. And
I'm not saying there isn't any poisonous rattlesnakes around here still, but if there are, they're kind of going to be rare, and out in the woods somewhere where most people don't go. Probably some woods surrounded by a farmer's field, you know. And so you probably won't see too many up there already. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Wow,
It's
we have
obviously really
an
young.
unexpected visitor from British Columbia, Vancouver Island. Moto Mining, you're not out metal detecting. Thanks for joining
Moto.
us. But you, I watched a video of yours today, Riley. You were at a mini hunt and you found an absolutely beautiful Revolutionary War button, but I know you don't have it handy. Was there also maybe a Revolutionary War campment there too? Was that a uniform button? Was it a civilian button?
It was more of a civilian kind of patriotic button. To my knowledge, it wasn't worn by military. It was more of like in support of the rebellion and in support of the revolution. But I don't think anybody else found any Revolutionary War buttons that were military there. There were Revolutionary War period buttons, but most of them were civilian. We did find a lot of Confederate buttons and Civil War buttons and stuff like that around there. But I think that's the only solid Revolutionary War button that was found there.
Do you find much Revolutionary period stuff or mostly like Civil War era?
In my area, we don't have anything older than about 1780, 1790. And that's if you're really lucky. Most of my area was settled in the early 1800s. So most of what I search for is Civil War relics because I'm right in the heart of Battle of Shiloh and Vicksburg and all those places. So where there was a ton of action. So that's pretty much what I go for because pretty much every little town around here had either a little battle or a big camp or something. So there were hundreds of thousands of troops in and out of this area.
Ever come across of anything like War of 1812 type stuff?
I've actually never found a War of 1812 button. I've been all over the country, and that's the one button that's been. I mean, I've dug a freaking GW button before, and the rattlesnake button. Yet I still don't have just a simple War of 1812 military button. And I mean, I've been right next to people who've been finding them, but for some reason, all the buttons that I did get those places are blank, or they have a flower on them or something.
So the War of 1812 button's kind of like one of your white whales.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've been on the hunt for one of those for a long time. I've been to Charleston, South Carolina, I think 4 times now. And that was one of the main things I wanted to find there. I actually found a War of 1812 buckle before I found a freaking button. So I can't explain it. It's just, I can't explain it. It's just weird.
Now where do you find, I see so much stuff about with you finding cannonballs.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's a bunch of the battles around here had some heavy artillery firing. Vicksburg, for one, I don't know if y'all know much about Vicksburg, but it was a initial 3-day battle, and then it was a siege for about a month and a half to 2 months. And the Union Navy pretty much shelled that thing 24/7 for like 2 months straight with like 200 cannons. Just, I mean, endless shooting. I think I read in the official reports that they fired almost 250,000 rounds into the city of Vicksburg.
Wow.
And it got so bad that the civilians dug holes in the ground. They dug like shelters into the sides of the hill because nobody could survive on the surface. There's so many shells landing everywhere that they just dug holes. And a few of those are still left down there where you can actually see where they dug into the side of the hill and made little rooms and houses and stuff in there. But of course, it's been hunted since, the 50s. And even before that, you could walk around on the hills in the 30s and 40s and pick up artillery shells that were just hanging out of the side of the bank. So it's been pretty well picked over, but there's still some areas in there that are just too difficult for the average person to metal detect. So that's pretty much where I like to go, into the thicket of razor blade plants.
So you'd rather be in the brush and woods compared to like fields?
Specifically in the summer, I don't like fields because of ticks and especially around my area, the chiggers are absolutely horrible.
Ugh.
I mean, if you haven't just taken a bath in mosquito repellent, you might as well be one giant bug bite at the end of it, because they're going to tear you to shreds. I unfortunately one time did not put on any repellent because I was too excited about, this was like 5-6 years ago. I was too excited about hunting this really good spot in this field. And it had semi-tall grasses, maybe 10 inches high. And I think I counted 300 chigger bites on me the next day.
Ooh.
I mean, I was miserable for like a month.
No
Chiggers
doubt.
are terrible. You beat me to it, Rose.
Yeah. You have a question. Tidewater Magnet Thrower asked if you have been to Williamsburg, Virginia area before.
I have not been to Williamsburg. The only places in Virginia I've been to is the Culpeper and Fredericksburg area and Richmond, Petersburg area. I have not been any further south or east than there.
You detect with Matt while you were in Virginia?
Matt who?
Howell? Oh, yeah.
No, I have not hunted with him before. He was
what is it? Gun digging?
Yeah, going digging. He was at one of the hunts I was at a while ago that I think it was in Virginia, but or it may have been the one up in New York, the pound the ground hunt or something. But I haven't been over to Virginia in probably 2 years now because of I was going to go there in April, but I had 2 hunts that I was going to go to up there, but they got canceled because of COVID. So I haven't really been to Virginia in the last 1.5 2 years, but I definitely want to go back because it's a blast digging there.
Riley, could you explain what chiggers are? There's some in the chat room that are trying to figure out what chiggers are.
They're little pesky critters.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way to describe them.
Yeah.
I know they're like in the tick family. They're not technically a tick, but they're kind of in the tick family. They just pretty much, they don't suck on your blood or anything, but they just bite you. And I think they like eat your blood or something for a little bit and then they leave.
They burrow.
Yeah.
Don't they go like in your hair follicles and burrow down in your hair follicles?
Yeah.
So,
Well, I hope not, because I didn't know that.
Yeah, Riley, when you get those chiggers, you said it bothered you for a month, and that's because they were living on you. One thing you can do is put clear nail polish over the bite.
and it smothers them.
Suffocate them. Yeah. And you still get irritated and bumpy, but not for a month at a time.
Yeah. I'll have to try that next time.
Yeah. And then, like you said, take the bath. You've got enough bug spray on you when you can taste it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Thomas folks?
And Terry Marshall has it right. They tick you off.
They tick you off.
Yeah.
You don't know you have them until it's too late. You'll work all day long. You'll be out all day long, and you'll be fine. And then you get home and you start relaxing, and then you start itching, and you start itching, and you start itching.
Yeah.
So it's not that they just bite you. Then they don't just bite you; they dig into you and
burrow.
For a little while.
So I guess it is sort of like a tick.
Yeah.
Little tiny ticks.
Do they lay eggs too in you?
Oh, I don't think so.
I've never heard that. They better not.
I hope not. Jeez.
I'm boiling my legs if they are.
Monsters inside. Yeah, definitely, Moto. Ooh.
Yeah.
Now, Central Virginia Relic Recovery. Riley, when you coming back to dig with us?
I need to, man. I'll just have to arrange a trip there. I'm sure it's miserable hunting there now because it's probably equally hot there. But I may try to come over there around August or something like that. July, August, somewhere in there before school starts back. But yeah, I definitely want to get back over there. We got a pretty good amount of people on here now.
JP's Lawns and More. He's a Carolina boy. Jiggers are little red bugs that dig into your skin. Have to put nail polish on them, kill them. Not fun. Yeah, I've been through that several times there, JP. Little pesky fellows. Do you do any river detecting or anything? Like, speaking of jiggers, like aqua jigger, Bo?
I rarely get to do that. Unfortunately, most of the creeks around my area are really silted in and muddy, and our local river that's right near my house has a lot of Civil War action around it. I think it's got probably 6 or 7 feet of sand before you get to the hard pack bottom. And any of the relics are going to be sitting on the hard pack bottom. So it'd be, useless to try to hunt it because plus the water around here is disgusting in the rivers, at least. It's like, you can't even see your own hand an inch in front of your face under the water. So
I know that river. I live right
really
by
fast.
it. I live right by that river. It's called the Bobby.
Yeah, the mommy is pretty mucky.
Yeah, there's the currents in the rivers around here are pretty extreme. I know it's I'm here in the next couple months. I'm going to try to get into diving for when I go to other states, but it's actually illegal to dive most of the places down here because you'll just die when you get. There's like the Mississippi River, for example. If you get in it for half a second, unless you've got rescue crews right there, you're screwed. The currents and the eddies and all the stuff floating in it. It's a death trap if you're trying to dive it.
Yeah, we lose people to the Mississippi in our area, I'd say yearly. At least once a year, somebody falls in and they never find them. So,
yeah. Plus, the Mississippi River at Memphis is 200 feet deep.
Yikes.
So it'd be pretty difficult to dive it.
Is that the area you're in? Is the Memphis area?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I live in Memphis.
Oh, okay. Jeffrey was saying it was really fun playing around with you when he was down in Memphis.
Oh yeah. He needs to come back down here. We found some firearms when we were walking a canal down in the Memphis area. For anybody that knows anything about Memphis, finding firearms thrown in a ditch is probably not that uncommon. It's not the greatest city. We'll just say that, especially not for crime. But yeah, he needs to come back down here. We had a lot of fun last time. Him and me and Britton Lockhart and Nugget Noggin showed up as well. So yeah, that was a blast.
Sounds like you had a good time at that.
Oh yeah, it was fun. We magnet fished for most of the time and walked in some canals and stuff, and we metal detected one or 2 days. One day we found a bunch of Civil War bullets and 2 belt plates. So it was definitely a blast.
How long have you been metal detecting, and what got you started in detecting?
I've been digging since 2013. My dad bought a machine first, and he kind of poked around with it for a little while and got bored with it because we really didn't even know what we were doing. We didn't have anybody to teach us. There was I hadn't even heard about the Memphis Metal Detecting Club at that point, so I didn't even know who to talk to. But he got bored with it and kind of set it aside, and I picked it up one day and went over and made sure it was okay with my neighbor to just try it around in their field there. And one of the first things I started finding was a mess load of flat buttons. out there in that field, I started finding a bunch of flat buttons, and I found a seated quarter and a few other stuff out there. And after that, it was done. That's all I needed.
So
it was
that's what got you hooked right there, huh?
As soon as I pulled out that seated quarter, it was over with. I was that metal detector wasn't out of my hand for like 6 weeks straight.
became a full-fledged metal detector, huh?
Oh yeah. I'd challenge anybody to even find a piece of foil out there in that field now.
So that's something a lot of people that just start off, it really makes it hard to continue when all you find is trash.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people give up. I know that if I hadn't had anybody, telling me, no, yeah, you're gonna find trash, don't worry about it, just get it out of the way so you can find the good stuff. I imagine had I not had anybody telling me that stuff, encouraging me that way, I would have gave it up too. When I first got my first belt, because I found a few things in my yard, but that's in your yard. I equate it to buying a bag of pay dirt as opposed to going out and finding gold on your own. Finding stuff in your yard is cool. You learn your machine, and it's great. But I think the adventures, when you go to the fairgrounds and find that stupid broken brooch, that broke 50 years ago, been laying there, that's more exciting.
I found my first silver in my own backyard, but digging in your own backyard is a great place to learn how to dig a proper plug.
Exactly. Oh yeah. I mean, definitely. Like there's purpose for pay dirt too. Teaches you how to pan.
Right. Or for those who can't get out, like you can.
Right. I mean, I can go out in my front yard and I'll find something, and I know it'll be foil, more than likely a roofing nail, but I found a couple little pieces of jewelry, and my a $50. First time out, I found a $50 Kennedy half.
Wow. That's awesome.
That was cool.
Let me interject for a second. Thank you, Top Cat.
Oh, yeah, Super Chat.
Thanks for the Super Chat, brother.
Let's say hi to a couple of people that come in since we stopped last time. That's Luke Duke.
And then James, or Old Dog, or PA Bigfoot, he showed up there. Love you, James.
And then American Mining Prospectors. Is that what it is? Brian? Yes, he's in the house. Brian, email me your logo for your sticker, man. ToodleJust@AOL.com. And I'll get you on the shirt. Definitely want yours on the shirt.
That guy all he does is type numbers in the room.
He's a pain in the butt, I know. Top Cat too. Top Cat,
definitely Top Cat. No, just
Top Cat too. I need stickers. Everybody, I need stickers.
I have one of Brian's here still, I think.
You have a file for it?
100, but
I need the file.
Away.
I need the file.
Yeah, the
no, I just have the sticker. I don't have files.
It's gonna make life easier for Jess, even though I didn't do that. Sorry, Jess.
Yeah, send Jesse the file.
I actually scanned a bunch of them, but I don't have any more of those. Like I said, my other stickers, Brian's, everybody else's, are up on my board. So
it's older than dirt at AOL.com. No, I'm just kidding.
So Riley, I'm a big fan of asking this question. Maybe it's because I have a big imagination, but let's say you had no restrictions, money was not an issue, and you have 3 places that you could go to magnet fish. Where would they be? Magnet fish. To metal detect. Where would you go?
Vicksburg, Shiloh, and probably there's a couple of places in Corinth, Mississippi that I know have a bunch of stuff on them, but they're all national park land. So I hope that's what falls into no restrictions.
Yeah, that's what falls into it.
Yeah, I would definitely go there. I know the places down in Vicksburg have been national park for a long time, and I think since the 50s, and that's when they started cracking down on people finding stuff out there. So realistically, that would be completely untouched since the 1950s. So, I mean, I would imagine there's a bunch of stuff on there, but you know, I don't want to go to jail for 30 years to find a bullet.
Right.
Yeah. I'll pass on that one.
Like, say you had an opportunity to go to the gold fields of Australia and look for some of that beautiful Australian gold.
No, that would be fun. I know they actually find one of the videos I was watching on YouTube about that. They actually find some scattered American stuff out there. So, you know, belt buckles and stuff like that from where some of the gold rush miners from California just hopped on a boat and went out there. So that would actually be pretty fun. You know, there's gold out there and there's relics.
Right.
I from what I understand, their history parallels ours quite a bit, you know.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. Next time we get an Aussie on, we'll have to dig into that a little more. But yeah, that's my bucket lister right there, Riley. But
Yeah.
I'm not a big relic hunter, even though I would love to be able to go out sometime with someone who knows that type of treasure hunting
Yeah.
and get on some good relics. One day, I'm working towards those goals every day.
So one of the things that you always hear about, especially in the Civil War areas, is that it's so hard to get permissions because people are so protective of their property, and then again, and then you have laws that prevent you too in some places, like you said, the state parks and other places don't allow you to do that. Do you have a hard time finding permissions?
Oh yeah.
Do you? I mean, is there a trick to it?
Really the trick that I've used is I try to find, like, especially locally, I know a lot of people locally, so I try to find a way in with the landowner that way. Like, say I know somebody that's friends with their uncle or something. You know, I use that as a way to get in there, because you go up and knock on their door, you're going to get met with a shotgun or something.
Oh yeah.
So I mean,
that doesn't work. You can't just walk up to a door, you know, out of nowhere and go, "Hey, can I cut through your property, or can I metal detect your field? Can I cut through your property to get to the creek?" And no, sometimes it's no.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't even like the fact that you even bother them to ask.
Every now and then I do just go and I'll, you know, start in one of those little towns that has a lot of Civil War history, and a lot of the Civil War stuff is in yards that are post Civil War. They have post Civil War houses on them now, you know, like a 19-teens house or something. And occasionally I do just go up and down the street there and knock on their doors just out of the blue and see if they'll let me hunt. But I did that Saturday and Sunday, and I did not have good luck.
This may be a little lame, but bringing a girl with you can really disarm a lot of people. So if you have a girl / friend or a girlfriend, have them with you, and it kind of chills them out a little bit. Yeah,
and a kid really helps.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, because nobody wants to act ugly in front of a kid.
Right.
So do you bring a little brother or anything like that when you go?
Usually it's just, I have a friend of mine who's younger than me, and he looks younger than he actually is, so that helps out a lot with it. But usually me and him go up there. The majority of the people that I knock on, they consider me a kid. So
well, let me say that when you told me you were 20, I go, he's that old?
Yeah.
I'm going because I literally thought you were older than that. I thought you were still maybe 17.
Yeah.
Down there, you know. Yeah.
Well, it helps out when people,
Right.
the younger people think I am, the better when asking permission.
For sure.
Because if they think I'm almost 21, they're a lot more likely to stick a shotgun in my face, which I've only had that happen once. But
oh, tell us about that.
Yeah, let us know about it.
I have PTSD from that event. It was so out of the blue. I mean, it was me and a buddy of mine. We pulled in this guy's driveway, and we got out. We go up. We knock on this door, and the guy answers the door. He's nice enough at first, and he says he was nervous about letting us metal detect because of liability. He didn't want us to sue him if we broke our ankle or something. And I carry around liability releases with me in the event that a homeowner is concerned about that. And I'm like, well, here, you can just sign right here. And this legally prevents me from suing you.
Wow.
And I pulled that out, and this guy goes nuts. I mean, it was like a complete flip. He went from nice now, and this guy's like 90 years old. So I was being real nice with him and slow and patient. And all of a sudden he reaches behind the door and he pulls out a double barrel shotgun and sticks it right in my freaking face and says, "You better get off my property now." And of course, by the time he'd finished the sentence, I was already in the car with smoke. Yeah. But yeah, it was so shocking. I couldn't even process it at first. I was like, what just happened? It was crazy.
Crazy.
Oh, man.
That is insane, man. I'm sorry that happened to you.
I'd be changing my drawers in the car after something.
Oh yeah, we got in the car, and I turned to my friend. I'm like, I'm not knocking on another door. I'm done for the day, man.
That's I've never heard about those waivers. That is super intelligent. That's super smart.
For prospecting and stuff, I don't have to use them often, thank God, but most of the farmers, it's weird. They won't let me arrowhead hunt. They won't let me metal detect their fields, but they have no problem me going into their floodland and dredging in their creek and stuff.
That's weird.
But
yeah, you'd think it'd be either one or the other. Like, no, you can't do any of it, or yes, you can do all of it. That's weird, man.
A lot of times it's just like, don't bother my crop.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of the fields I get on around here, they specifically tell me to not go out there on these dates because they're going to be planting or.
That's their money.
Yeah. And I always check with them, even if I have permission, they've said I can go out there, say this month or something. I always check with them, like, you're not planting anything today, are you? And I just check with them because I understand those farmers bust their tail trying to get those crops in there, and they have a specific time limit. So I don't want to step on their toes on that one.
And with no guarantee.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, their whole crop could be wiped out just like that.
But Rose, like, if you ever wanted to, for your other adventures in treasure hunting outside of bridge hopping and chucking magnets, I just made a thing I borrowed from the DNR. It's a hunting waiver, and I kind of fine-tuned it to what I do.
That's super smart, you guys. I learn a lot from this show.
Now, where is it at on my computer? I have no idea.
It's in editing.
I haven't had to use it for a while. Yeah, it's in editing with about 1,000 videos.
I got forms printed up. I carry to certain places I go.
Yep, I do too.
Well,
Actually, you can go on the DNR and find that.
And you kind of feel the person out when you're talking to them. If they're a little apprehensive, then you say you'll sign a waiver. It kind of brings them in. But if they're not apprehensive, don't worry about it. There's a lot of good people out there. Then there's people that really don't trust you at all. And the paper makes it a little more secure in the idea. If you die on their property, it's not their fault.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that old man, that 90-year-old guy, as you pull out that piece of paper and tell him to sign it, probably triggered his he probably got ripped off at some point for a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we were thinking. Either
Here,
that
just
or
sign right here.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what it says. Just sign right here.
We think
I'm from the government. I'm here to help. Sign right here.
We think he was using that as an excuse to tell us no, so we'd leave, and then he wasn't expecting that we'd actually have waivers.
Yeah.
And it kind of just thwarted his whole plans. So,
I don't know. That's kind of an extreme there.
yeah.
I think that piece of paper must have triggered him somehow.
Well,
Somehow.
it makes you wonder, what does he have buried on that property?
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
His life savings in a metal box or something. Yeah.
Now, have you? I saw in like your intro. You had a gold coin.
Yes, I do. I dug that down in Charleston, South Carolina. I was down there for the American Digger Low Country Civil War show, and somebody had told me that across the street from the show arena, there's just a little 2-lane road there, and you could walk across the street from the opening of the building, and there was a little patch of woods there, and they said, yeah, that guy, he lets anybody hunt. Just go on out there and check it out. And of course, when people tell me that, I always confirm. But I went out there and found a large cent and a couple of buttons and some stuff. And I found that gold coin. That was a terrible signal. I mean, it's really small. It's smaller than a dime. It's about half the size of a dime, actually. And I took that thing and I ran all the way across the road back into that show and started showing everybody. They're like, wait a minute, you just posted that on Facebook. How'd you get here so fast? Like, I just found it right there. You can see where I was hunting. Man, people were freaking out at that show. They were like, I've literally been here for 3 years coming to this show, and I never even thought to hunt there.
Wow.
Yeah,
people forget that it looked different back then.
Oh yeah.
So what you see now is not what was there. Back then there was, probably campground somewhere, campsite.
Yeah.
Anything.
And it was the site looked very unappealing if you drove by it. It was extremely thick. It was kind of swampy. There was a sign that said "Beware of alligators" next to it, and it was behind a gas station with trash all in the woods.
Right.
So it was like the worst possible spot ever. But I just went over there and hunted it because somebody told me they'd found some stuff in there before, and I had some time to kill, so I was like, hey, whatever, I'll just go over here and check it out and see if they're right. And I'll be dang, there was a freaking gold coin in there.
Wow. That's crazy.
You still have it? Can you show that off?
It's in my safe right now, but with some of my other higher end items. But
now, have you ever been out gold prospecting at all?
I have not. I know some people do it in, I think it's North Georgia. I think you can do it some over there. They don't find much gold though.
Dahlonega area and Cleveland area.
Yeah.
If you're a Tennesseer, you'd have to probably head towards eastern Tennessee up in the Smokies. The Coker Creek area would probably be better luck for you than anywhere on the western side of Tennessee. Alabama just below you, though. Alabama has some pretty good gold country in her. But there's gold all over. Not just gold coins, but I'd love to find a gold coin.
I've panned once in where was it? It was near Silverton, Colorado. But I didn't find anything. I was like for 5 minutes while my family was getting food or something. I was like, hey, there's a creek right here. It's right by the road. I'll just pan it and see what happens.
No, it's Riley.
Yeah, but I hadn't done any prospecting since then.
Now, do you know this exploring with Nug Dude?
He's giving you the business right now.
Yeah, he is.
Mhm.
Oh gosh.
He's like, Riley looks like Butthead.
Yeah, I hunted with him and Britton Lockhart in Georgia about 3 months ago. He I'll just ask him to remember my driving. He'll know what I'm talking about.
Jeremy is a good guy. I
Yeah.
had the privilege of meeting him and his wife in Nashville, Tennessee. Met up with a lot of other really good YouTubers there that I love roasting your guests, Ed. That's fine, Jeremy. That's fine.
Roast away.
Just wait till next time you're our guest. I'm sure someone will roast you. We'll
Oh,
have,
I'll be here.
we'll have Riley
I'll
in
be
there
here.
doing what you're doing. We'll get Britt and Jeffrey too.
Yeah.
Maybe
We'll all be
even-
in here. We'll get him back.
Maybe Jared and Sam the Adventure Man too. Now, do you scuba dive at all also?
I'm planning to. I hadn't got my certification yet, but I'm planning on doing that this month. There's not really, like I said earlier, there's not really any places to dive around here, so it'd be more for when I go down to Florida or Virginia or in that area.
Right.
But I am planning on getting my certification here in the next 3-4 weeks, so I can go ahead and do that. But I haven't ever done it before.
Yeah, do you have any reservations? Are you nervous about it?
I'm a little nervous because I don't necessarily like water that much. But yeah, it seems pretty cool to me, so I'm looking forward to it. Most of the diving that I would be doing is not going to be, deep sea. It would be, less than 30 feet. So and I wouldn't be in black water diving very much. I'd be more, down in Florida in the ocean, stuff like that. So I'm not really too worried about it.
If I was as young as like you, Jeffrey, Jeremy, and stuff, I love the water. I have no problem being under. I've never been certified, but I have worn tanks. I've used hookah systems numerous amounts of times. Um, if I was younger, I'd think about getting cert, but dry suits are so expensive. It's such an
Oh, yeah.
expensive gig to get into.
What is it?
What isn't exactly like
Yeah.
our lifestyle isn't already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to get
scuba
into
diving
any,
to it.
if you want to get into any aspect of the treasure hunting, community and, get the high end gear, be prepared to be well into the 4 digits.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Especially if you're going to be going on trips to hunts and stuff. That's the real, that's the real thing that empties the wallet. These big hunts in New York and places like that, you got to pay for flights and hotels or gas.
Food.
Yeah. Like,
Laura Williams says, can you even see in that kind of water? Yeah, you can see the back part of your mask.
yeah. Yeah, you can't really see squat. You can see, unless you've got like a really, crazy good light. But even then, that gives you like a foot,
Ugh.
maybe a foot or two of visibility if you're
Yeah.
lucky.
That kind of water, Rose is like, nope.
Yeah.
Not a,
Yes.
that's like when you were dredging your first time on a hookah system in Alabama, Jesse. It was like chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk.
Yeah, that's horrible. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to diving stuff like that.
Learning how to stay underwater. No experience at all underwater. Little bit of experience on the dredge, not even experience.
You
ran the dredge.
You ran my 4-inch once or twice before
Right.
you went down there.
Right. And then
Never
got put on a hookah mask. No. And was told to go on, just go under. And stay there.
Yeah, but time flies. It's a whole different world. And
Yeah.
just
Well,
wait till you could be on a hookah in clear water.
right. Well, the second time I went to Alabama was like that. The first time it wasn't. I mean, the first time it was just mostly long arming and sticking my head in for a little bit, and coming up and trying to stay down as long as possible. But I couldn't see anything, and that's scary as hell, especially when the water is flowing really hard and a stick, a tree can come by, you're not seeing it, you don't see nothing at all until it hits you. I mean, I was having just grass and stuff running into me, leaves and things was freaking me out, because I couldn't see it.
Yeah, there was
the second time I went down there, though, it was different. It was clear water. I was able to stay down, and I stayed down for a whole tank of gas. So that was really cool.
Yeah, there was I went to South Carolina one time and hunted with this guy, and he was like, there's a really good site out here. It's a 1700s plantation site. He said, we got to go and cross this lowland. And I was like, okay, whatever. I got boots on. And I get over there, and he's like, okay, you got to take off your socks and shoes and wade through this. It's a 15-foot wide, 3-foot deep swamp in South Carolina with alligators. And I'm like, I don't know about this, man. And he's like, well, there's Spanish silvers and reals and stuff on the other side. And I'm like, all right, well, you've sold me. And I took off my shoes and I was walking through there, and I must have stepped on a log or something, because my foot hit something that was like, I don't know how to explain it. It felt almost, crusty or something. And I about levitated out of the water and just went the whole rest of the way on the top of the water. And I was like, dude, I'm not going across that. You got to find a log or something to put across it, because there's no way I'm walking across that barefoot again. It was terrifying. You couldn't see anything. I mean, it was just, I couldn't even see my knee like an inch below the water.
I don't know if silver or gold would be worth it. I don't know if I could do it. I don't think I could get over the fear. I think I'd just let it rest there.
Yeah, it was
diamonds and rubies.
Yeah, I don't think so, man. I like, my life and my body is quite valuable to me. Like, I don't think I'd risk it. I don't think I'd do it.
Yeah, I actually did find some good stuff on the other side. He did find a Spanish coin, and I got some early 1700s coins, and a bunch of buttons and a War of 1812 buckle. So, in my opinion, it was worth it. I mean, I still got both my legs, so that's a plus.
Well, tell us about, so, I mean, other than a shotgun to your face and digging through alligator infested water, have you had any terrifying encounters with wildlife, with alligators or anything like that?
A couple of times. One time I did run into an Arkansas razorback, and up on the hills and the bluffs in Arkansas, which, you know what that is, they're really dangerous.
Yeah, they're
wild boars.
Pretty nasty boar.
Yeah, they will tear you to shreds if you're near any of their, babies or anything. And I saw one of those walking through the woods, and I was in this really thick shrubbery in there digging. I had crawled in there because it was a really good spot, and I knew there was stuff in the shrubbery, and I could see it going around, and it kept running, trying to find a way into the shrubbery. And I mean, I was like piling brush against the opening and just making myself a little fort. I was like, you just go ahead and shoo. But those things are fast. I mean, you can't outrun them. They go, I mean, they can run like 30 miles an hour. But, and then one other time I ran into a pack of wild dogs, and the majority of them were pretty large dogs. A couple of pit bulls, a German Shepherd, and 2 other dogs, which they were some kind of mix, but they were not pleased with me at all. I saw them coming through the woods down in the valley below me, about maybe 20 yards away. And I was up on the side of the hill and I didn't move a muscle. And they were walking by, and at the worst, most inopportune time possible, my hunting partner comes over the hill behind me and yells down to me, "Hey man, you found anything?" Like, are you kidding me? You couldn't have waited 3 minutes.
Yep. Wild dogs. That's one of our biggest fears. That's honestly one of the biggest things we got to worry about is wild dogs in our area. That's about as bad as it gets. But I would not want to come across a pack of them to save my life.
Yeah,
I'd be more afraid of domesticated dogs gone wild in a pack than I would wild dog or pure wild animals.
Feral dogs.
Yeah, when a domestic animal turns wild, they have no fear of man.
Yeah,
right.
There was 2 of the pit bulls charged at me up the hill, barking and growling, and I pulled out my weapon and fired a couple of rounds into the ground. Was able to scare them off, but I didn't go back there for like a month. I mean, it was a really good spot. I mean, that day I'd already found like 2 or 3 cannonballs. So I was like, man, this sucks. You know, I gotta get where I can, you know, I was paranoid for the next 3 or 4 times I was hunting there. Every stick break, I was like, oh crap, they're back or something.
PD Sand Digger says handgun with snake shot helps with wild dogs.
Yeah.
So does a 9mm.
Right.
That's what I carry. That's what I carry is a 9mm.
Put a slug in that.
Yeah, but I mean, unless they're gonna clear. My intention with them was to fire a couple shots in the ground, hoping that they would just take the hint and leave.
Right.
Well,
I don't really want to kill anything.
The problem with dogs that have been turned wild after being domesticated is, like Ed said, they're not afraid of humans.
Yeah.
You know, so, and they've reverted back to not just a wild animal, but a domesticated wild animal.
Yeah.
Which is very dangerous in my eyes.
Yeah.
If he's coming at me, he's gotta go down.
Coming at you is one thing, but if they're around you and they're not causing harm and you can
that's fine. They just go do your thing.
Yeah, I'd rather
go do your thing.
Yeah.
But if you're coming at me, then you gotta go down.
Yeah.
Sorry. There's no warning shots.
Yeah.
Bullets are too expensive. I mean, lures are too expensive.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't really see. I think they were just a pack that was kind of just roving over the hillsides, because I don't think I saw them. I don't remember ever seeing them again once I was over there. So that was good.
Might have been the Squatch's dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, there was all my hunting partners, they were all, I mean, I'd come around the corner of a tree or something, and they'd jump out of their skin thinking it was a dog or something. I mean, we were all paranoid.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And that was the same place I saw the wild boar. So we were all on high alert when we were hunting out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
so
especially when you're down. I mean, most of these cannonballs are extremely deep. I mean, because they hit the ground, they bury themselves in, and then you have topsoil that comes down on top of them.
Right.
So most of them are, 2-3 feet deep. So you've got a 3-foot hole, your head's down in it trying to get a cannonball out. And then all of a sudden you hear a bunch of brush moving off to your right coming towards you. I mean, it's terrifying when you can't see it at first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could be a squirrel or something. You still think it's the,
Oh, yeah.
scary monster coming at you.
Let's see a couple of these cannonballs you've been talking about.
Yeah,
Oh
we-
yeah.
Yeah, we GoPro Unlimited's like any treasure porn
Yeah.
coming
So,
up here. Let me pin you
Yeah,
again. Um, all right, everybody, you asked for it. I even told Riley in pre-show, dig out some treasure porn. All yours,
right.
Riley.
All right, so I got this one. This actually came from the same spot that I was just talking about. It's a 6-pounder, and it's got a Borman fuse on it. If y'all can see that,
You
and this
need to
little white
lift it
circle
up
here,
more.
right here. Is this good?
A little more, just a little bit.
Yeah, right
you
about
go.
there. That's good.
Okay, so it's got a Borman fuse right here. You can see the little white circle. That's actually outlining the stamp from the armory. And it's very rare to have a stamp on there. Only the Confederates stamped their cannonballs. This one, particular one's from the Selma, Alabama arsenal. So this is a Confederate cannonball. They're pretty rare to find. This one doesn't have anything other. It's just a powder charge on the inside. It doesn't have a. Some of them have lead balls on the inside that acts like a kind of a shotgun shell when it explodes. But those are called case shots. This one's just a powder charge on the inside. You can see the top here is actually melted on this one side, and the other side's perfect. And this little hole right here is where they punched it for the time. So when they fired it, the flames would come around the top of the cannonball and go in this hole and light the fuse. But you can see this one, there's a little, what they call it, a powder train. There's a little line of powder that's inside the fuse itself. Well, when this one fired, it lit this powder train, but since it was close to where it was fired from, it landed close to where it was fired from. So it kind of sat there, and this just sizzled and sprayed out the top of the hole. And that's what melted this side, the heat from the flames coming out of the hole, but it didn't detonate. A lot of them, this particular fuse had for the time, it was pretty good, but now it would be horrible. I mean, they only went off like 60% of the time, if you're lucky. But
So that's supposed to explode, right?
yes,
When it goes off.
Yeah, this is these exploded in the air. They the artillerists decided they could tell based on the range how many seconds the cannonball would fly for, and they'd punch the correct time. This fuse goes from 0.5 seconds all the way to 5.5 seconds, and this one right here is punched at 1.5. So it was fired from about maybe 600 yards. So that's pretty cool right there. You can see this hole on the other side. That's where it was drilled. Legally, you have to have them drilled. Otherwise, they can come and confiscate it because it's still technically an explosive device.
Yeah, I think Moto Mining just asked, could it still explode? So you had to do something to make sure that it wouldn't.
Well, yeah, I took these to
any of them still alive.
Yeah. I think everybody's curious.
The odds of one of these going off is extraordinarily low. I took these to a artillery expert in Alabama, and he has a remote drill press, and he drills the holes in them. He told me he drilled about 2,100 of them, and he said he'd never had one go off. So most of them, when you open it up and you can actually pour the black powder out, the black powder does nothing when you light it. I mean, it's not even viable anymore. So most of them just have kind of a mix between rust and mud and black powder, because these aren't 100% watertight. Because around the powder train here, it leads down to another hole that goes into the cannonball. So realistically, water could go in this hole right here and then get into the cannonball itself. So most of them you don't have to worry about.
Ohio relic hunter Bill Marsh, he's wondering if that was Steve Phillips.
Yes, it was Steve Phillips. This is another type. This is as you can see, it's not a cannonball. It's a conical shell. This had a wood fuse in it. It didn't have a metal fuse. These don't even need to be drilled. You can just take a screwdriver and poke out the wooden fuse. And it wasn't ever watertight. The powder pretty much washed out of it with the first rain after the battle. But you're probably wondering what the little white band on it is. This is a we call it a sabot or sabot. It's when the cannon is fired, the heat expands this lead into the rifling, and the lead is designed to grip the rifle and give it the spin that it needs to be more accurate. So this one is actually came all the way from England. It's a Union shell, but it's called a Britain shell. And they refer to it as a Britain segmented shell because the inside of it looks like one of those pineapple grenades.
Mm-hmm.
They have the little squares on them.
Right.
And it's designed to blow into perfectly even pieces. And there's little triangles, iron triangles on the inside that are all evenly packed to where they fit with a powder charge down the middle. So when it exploded, it was kind of like a pineapple grenade. And I mean, this is only, you can see how small it is. It's only about the size of a Coke can. So
it's designed for maximum bodily damage.
Yeah, this was for use against infantry.
Right. And that probably also exploded up in the air.
Yes, this one did. Yeah, it was meant to. These were extremely ineffective. This particular model, it was you probably can't see it, but this is actually threaded. It's designed to have a different fuse in it. But the Yankees at this particular battle did not have the right fuses. So they stuck wooden fuses in there instead and basically prayed that it worked. But only about 50% of them did work. But the fuses that do go with this, that are actually from England, are extremely effective. They were one of the best fuses of the Civil War. They had like a 92% success rate. So
and they use those here in the United States during the Civil War?
Yes.
They were manufactured in England, but
yes.
Here.
Yeah, they were brought here on a cargo ship. If it had been Confederate, it would have been a blockade runner. But since it was Union, they didn't have to worry about the blockade. England actually, a lot of people don't know this, they actually supplied both sides during the Civil War.
Oh, no, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the French do that too, supplied both sides?
The whole world pretty much did.
Yeah, pretty much. The whole world wanted the South's cotton, pretty much. The South actually produced about 75% of the world's cotton at that time. So it was serious. It was serious.
Yeah, what the world wanted was for us to quit fighting and get back to work.
Yeah, pretty much. They wanted somebody to win so they could get their cotton again.
Yeah, right. They didn't care who, just get back to work.
Yeah, there was the French actually almost sent troops over here and their Navy at one point, which would have completely changed the whole outcome of the Civil War because their Navy was about double or triple the size of the Union Navy. So it pretty much would have been, not even close to a fair fight. But, they were also going to send over about 1,000 Marines, French Marines.
I don't think that would have flown either. That would be like get in the middle of two brothers fighting.
Yeah.
That wouldn't work either.
Well, if one of the brothers owed you money, you had to pick him because you needed the money. Yeah, but
that sounds like an experience.
Yeah, pretty much every European country at that time wanted exclusive rights to the cotton that the South had. So they were of course, it's been long-standing for 300 years that France and England absolutely despise each other. So, I mean, they fought like 10 wars against each other.
They didn't like us any better, so,
Yeah, so they basically wanted the South to trade with only them and not England. So, and England wanted exactly the opposite, them to trade with England, not France. But the blockade really didn't allow for anybody to trade at all because they wouldn't let ships in or out. But a good number of ships did bust the blockade and get through. But this is actually one of the items that came through on the blockade. It's the ivory handle's missing, but it's actually a sword handle, short sword handle.
Yeah.
It could also be considered a large Bowie knife, but this came from Sheffield, England, and came over to the Confederate side for some of their soldiers because a lot of the Confederates, for some reason, favored huge knives when they were out in the field. So as kind of like a last resort. Most of them carried a musket at least one pistol and a huge knife, because a lot of the battles, especially Shiloh, was seriously hand-to-hand rather than long distance. So these knives were a huge benefit in that situation.
What they say about guys with huge knives, right?
Yeah.
No, what do they say, Rose?
They've got huge knives sheaths.
Ah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going somewhere like cowboys with big belt buckles.
Right to the gutter.
Left turn.
Or 60-year-old guys with Maseratis, right?
Yeah. A teenager with a giant lifted truck.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but I got a couple other real neat things here. This one pretty much speaks for itself.
Confederate state buckle.
Yeah, Confederate States belt buckle. This was actually the first one that I found that was actually had CS on it, because a lot of them didn't have CS on them. They were just blank. A lot of the ones early in the war were just what we call clip corner buckles. They were just sheets of brass that they clipped the corners off of and basically just soldered some hooks on the back. Because when the war broke out, they were so low on supplies, they just kind of hastily made the gear. But they didn't last very long because they were so flimsy. But this was one of the first really regulation belt plates that they issued. And that this wasn't issued until late 1863, after the war had been going on for more than 2 years. So I got 2 of those. One's a little bit damaged. You can see it here. You can't really see the CS as well. These were really lightly stamped. You can sort of see it a little bit, but it's got a crack down the middle. And interestingly enough, if I can get it to focus, you can see those notches along the outer side of it. A lot of people have been theorizing about what those notches mean.
Those like kill notches?
That's what we were thinking. It's probably kills, because they would notch a lot of their stuff with kill marks. It might be at their rifle stock, or maybe their their knife handle or something. But especially when at the time of the camp that I found this one in, they wouldn't have had very much gear at all. It would have already been lost or broken or discarded. So this might be the only thing that he had that was worth notching, because he figured he'd have it with him at all times. But the hooks fell off of these pretty often because they're just thin stamped brass, and the hooks are just soldered on the back. So heavy field use, the buckle will just basically just pop off. But yeah, these are pretty rare. Anybody that hunts Civil War artifacts knows that a buckle with CS on it's really hard to find. But I've been fortunate enough to get 4 of them now, and 3 of the unmarked ones. This is another neat artifact. A lot of people go crazy over this one. You can't really tell what you're looking at first.
It looks like 2 bullets collided.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Wow.
It's 2 bullets that hit together in midair, and they actually, when they hit, they spun around each other. So they're kind of wrapped around each other. But they didn't hit head on. They hit at an angle. Both of them were going the same direction, roughly, but they hit at an angle kind of at like a 30-degree angle from the back. So one was going faster than the other one, which means one of them was fired from further back, which is pretty neat. And extremely unlikely to happen for them to still be stuck together like that. I mean, the chances of a bullet colliding in midair are like 1 in a million or something. But yeah, there's a bunch of, I don't know if you can see behind me back up here, but there's a pretty good amount of cannonballs back there as well. There's a big jar of bullets right here. There's about 1,000 of them in there.
Gee whiz.
And I got about 3 or 4 other jars like that that have a couple thousand in them.
Now, what's the rarest bullet? I'm sure it's a Confederate bullet, right?
Oh, yeah. I actually have that one right here, so I can access it pretty easily. It is a Confederate Cosmopolitan. They call it a Cosmopolitan Type 2. See, it's got 2 rings on there, and it's got this distinctive little knot on the nose. And these were only used by 1 unit in the whole Civil War. It was about 200 guys that were issued these. And as of now, there's only about 110 of them known that have ever been found. So, and I've found 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So, and they were all from one spot.
What's the purpose for that little button on top?
The button is actually from the lathe, where it was turned on a lathe. And that's basically, we call it a sprue. That's basically where they cut off what the lathe was attached to, pretty much.
So those are turned, not molded?
Yeah, these are turned. Yeah.
Really?
And these were used by Missouri sharpshooters. So it would have been essentially an elite sniper regiment. So they are pretty cool. They're worth a pretty good chunk of money. Of course, I don't do it for the money. Just being able to hold something like this is worth more than the money that I'd get from it. But
now,
I like to keep.
I heard you say in a video you don't sell your relics, but have you ever?
I have never sold one thing that I've found. I've given away some of the things to like homeowners and things like that, and some of the property owners, some of the stuff that I found on their land, but I've never sold anything. Not even a bullet. I mean, they're worth like $1, and I've got thousands of them.
Now,
So,
do you go to like Civil War shows also and display your finds?
yes, I work for American Digger Magazine. If any of you are subscribed to that, so I go to all their shows. They have one in Chattanooga in July, and another one in Charleston. And I go to there, and I have tables where I set up all my relics and teach people about them, and what this did and where this was fired, that kind of stuff.
Right. What was the caliber on those rounds that you just showed?
That one is 54 caliber, but I've got one right here.
That's a pretty big slug then, huh?
Yeah, I'll just put this into perspective for you. This is one of my biggest ones right here. And this is about the size of a modern 9mm.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So now you know why there's so many casualties in the Civil War. I mean, you get hit by this, there's no way you're surviving that. I mean,
you're losing now. You're losing that arm and that leg, and
oh yeah,
it's going through your heart.
Yeah, that thing. And they were so slow moving too. When they hit you, it was like getting hit by a brick. I mean, they didn't just go clean through you. They hit you and they knock you off your feet, and just plus the lead. This lead is not like the modern lead. It's really soft. So when it hits, it flattens out. So this weighs nearly 2 ounces. So you can imagine a 2-ounce chunk of flat lead going through your torso.
Wow.
I mean, that's basically 100% fatal. I mean, there's no way you'd survive that, especially with the medical capabilities they had then.
Do you, John Nablet, sorry, John, was wondering if you have any coins close by. They might be all in a safe, John.
Well, that's kind of unfortunate because all of my coins are out of my safe, but they're all upstairs right now. I don't keep them. I don't keep them near any doors.
Yeah.
That. But yeah, I don't have any on hand. I might have.
Yeah, I'm sure those bullets would just literally just rip your arms or your legs right off.
Oh yeah.
Shatter bones. Go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Lester says. Rip your arm right off. I had a
just
54 caliber, man.
Here, just for the sake of the show, I'll pick up my big naval cannonball.
We're not talking about gold tonight, Diane. We're talking about Civil War relics.
Yeah.
This will be kind of shocking once I pick this up.
Is that the one I have on the thumbnail? No.
Nope,
No.
this one's even bigger.
Oh wow.
Wow, that's a bowling ball.
Yeah.
How much does that weigh?
This one weighs 55 pounds.
Wow.
And I got, I've actually dug 2 of those. And let me tell you this, they are not fun to get out of the woods.
Yeah, it's
I bet
hard
they're
enough to
heavy
get them out,
in
then
your
you gotta
backpack.
carry them out.
Yeah, that particular one, I had to walk 2 miles with it. And it wouldn't fit in any of my backpack or anything like that. I had to take my shirt off and wrap it in my shirt. And I walked about a mile. It was miserable. I mean, let me tell you, I hope I never have to do that again. I actually called the landowner and I said, look, man, I know you got a 4-wheeler. I'll give you $50 cash right now if you'll just come pick me up. Like, I just want to be out of here.
So you before you went and dug that site, you obviously did research on it. And what was it that you researched or that you discovered researching or there that made you dig in those particular areas to find? You said you found a bunch of stuff, right?
Well, there's a lot of these cannonballs have come from different spots. I've got one spot that I dug 16 from, another spot that I got 4 or 5 from, and a couple other scattered spots where I dug 1 or 2 from each. But this particular one, I only dug 4 at, and they were mainly big ones. I got one of those that weighs, they call them 50 pounders. It's from a naval gunboat and from one of the ironclads, and another one that was a 32 pounder. But with the naval guns, it's not like field artillery. Those things can fly for 5-6 miles when they're fired. So basically, they could be anywhere in there. I mean, as long as the thing you have to do with artillery is research where they were firing from and what direction they were firing from. Then what you do is calculate the range that those guns had. And then you basically just have to pick a spot that looks like it'd be good for, be it a flat ridge, a big hill that faces where they were firing from or something that may catch some of the cannonballs. But those big naval rounds are really scattered. There's not really any research that would point you to a specific spot that you could do.
Maybe other than somebody else finding one near there.
Yeah, that
would give you an idea.
Yeah, that would help a lot.
Because they're not, they're not going to, I know, you said that you're finding them in random spots, but usually when they're shooting like that, they're usually going for a particular area. So they can throw off 50, 60, 100 rounds into that one area before they move to another. So I'm thinking that if you're going to find one, you're going to find some more.
Yeah.
In a relatively close area. Well, not necessarily on that same piece of property, but.
That is very true for the field artillery. The only issue with the gunboats is they're actually moving when they're firing.
Right.
They're going up the river and then they turn around and come down the river and broadside from the other side. So they're actually moving while they're firing. So they're having to constantly reposition the guns with each turn. So, I mean, you've got like a 2-mile stretch where there could be one anywhere in there, because especially with this particular spot, they didn't really know where the enemy was. They knew they were somewhere in there. So they were just basically flinging cannonballs in there, hoping that they hit something.
Wow.
Their version of cover bombing.
Yeah, there were so many, the area is really hilly, so they couldn't see any evidence of where the people were. They were just going based off the scouts' reports that there was, a large amount of Confederates back in the hills. So they were just shooting at all of the hills around there. They didn't really know which one it was. So realistically, you can find cannonballs in like a 5 square mile area in there. Wow. Where they were just, bombing the heck out of the whole area.
Do Do they set the detector off? Does your detector go crazy when you find one of those?
This one behind me was 2 inches deep. I mean, you could have gotten that with a magnet.
Yeah.
I mean, it just about blew my ears out on the machine. I mean, it was.
Imagine going over that with one of your magnets, Rose.
You're right.
Walking by it and grabs it.
Yeah, it was.
You would have to dig that.
And that area is so rural. There's no modern houses or anything in there. When you get a signal like that, it's like a 95% chance that it's one of those big cannonballs.
Yeah.
Either that or you got ripped off.
Willie wants to know if find any big cannons or any cannons.
I have not found any cannons. I've found little pieces of the cannons themselves, like part of the chains that hook onto them and stuff like that. But it's not any pieces of the actual cannon itself. Those would be extremely rare to find. I know people that have found one though.
They typically find those in the rivers, don't they?
Yeah, on rare occasions, the cannon tubes would burst when they fired. They'd have a flaw or something in them, or they'd be overstressed, and they'd burst, and of course it would kill the whole gun crew. But it would fling chunks of the cannon everywhere around where their own men were.
Wow.
So there's one of those at that happened. There's a couple of them that happened at Vicksburg. One of them, the round got stuck in the end of the barrel, like right before it was supposed to come out. And the round actually, they couldn't get it out. There's nothing they could do. So they just ran. And the round actually detonated in the middle of the freaking gun tube. And it blew the whole end off the cannon. It blew about, the whole cannon tube on that particular one was about 7.5 feet long. And it blew 2.5 feet off of it. And they actually filed down the end of it and kept using it. I wouldn't get.
Hey, I mean, you know, they're not going to get one in the next few minutes. So
yeah. And there was another one at that battle that again the round got stuck in the barrel, which is rare to happen. So it's unusual that it happened 2 of them at the same battle. But it was a 6.5 foot long, 30-pound Parrott rifle that had a 30-pound artillery shell inside of it. And it detonated and it blew that thing to shreds. I mean, there were, of course, these cannon tubes weigh like 1,500, 2,000 pounds each. So, I mean, you're talking one little piece of it weighs 50 pounds.
Wow.
So it's flinging a 50-pound chunk 6 miles or something. So there's occasionally people do find pieces of them. The guy that that Bill was talking about in the chat earlier, Steve Phillips down in Alabama, he's got a couple of pieces of that specific 30-pound Parrott rifle that exploded in that battle. That is really, really amazing. I mean, the tube itself is about 2.5 feet thick. So, you know, you can imagine the amount of force it would take to blow a 2.5 foot thick piece of iron to shreds.
Well, when you said that the Parrott cannon,
yeah,
is that short little stubby thing that's about 8 feet across with a small hole in it? Is that it?
No, that's what we call a mortar.
Oh, okay.
Those didn't fire. A Parrott rifle is just a cannon. I mean, it's a rifled cannon. They were designed specifically to be accurate, to be able to hit targets straight on, to fire in a straight line. A mortar was more or less lobbing shells.
Okay.
They fired them at like an 80-degree angle, and they would go half a mile into the sky and then drop straight down on the enemy. And then they just detonate, you know, in the air above them or something. But many of those mortar rounds would be in the air for like 60 seconds before they landed.
Wow.
And those things weigh a ton. That make some of those cannonballs make that 50-pound one that I showed y'all. It makes it look like a 22 bullet. I mean, it's insane. There's some of them they fired at Vicksburg that weigh, the cannonballs themselves weigh 250 pounds.
Wow.
And of course, you know, if you dig one of those, it's impossible to get it out. You know, you got to pay somebody with a winch or something to get it out. But Those
Nikki
rarely
wants-
detonated because they had the wood type fuses.
Nikki wants to know if you ever found Rose beat me to it in the Zoom chat. Found dog tags. Did Civil War soldiers wear any type of dog tags?
They weren't issued, but they could buy them from sutlers that traveled with the soldiers in camp. I have found they're extremely rare to find. I mean, you'd be lucky to find one in your lifetime. And apparently I got extremely lucky in the first, 6 months of me digging, because I found one on a church lot. But this is it right here. It's gold gilded. You probably can't see any of the details on it. It's kind of hard to see in person. But the soldier was George Cujo, and he was a member of the Company I 31st U.S. And at the time they called them colored troops. So he was a former slave that was freed and joined up with the Union Army. So it's got Abraham Lincoln on the other side. And interestingly enough, it says instead of Civil War, it says the War of 1861, because that's what they called it at the time. Because it hadn't been, I mean, they just thought that it started in 1861. They didn't know how long it was going to happen. They were hoping that it would be over quickly. But these are extremely valuable. They're extremely hard to find. And few soldiers could afford them at the time. They were very expensive to buy from the sutlers. So very few of the soldiers actually had them. And they didn't really do much good anyway, because they didn't have the means to ship your body back very easily. So it really didn't do much difference other than your family knew that you died rather than just you be missing.
Yeah.
Right.
Which could bring a lot of closure.
Yeah.
Could bring a lot
Because
of closure.
And they know the name to put on the cross.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was unfortunately many of especially after the battles, many of the guys didn't even get buried. I mean, they didn't have the time. They were right in the middle of fighting a war. All the civilians had left the area. I mean, the ground was just devastated.
Right.
There was the Battle of Chancellorsville. They had two battles on the same spot, a year apart. The first battle, I think there were 20,000 killed or something, something along that number. They were only able to bury a couple thousand of them before they had to move on. But when they fought the next time, one of the soldiers was talking about how when they were running through the forest, they were crunching on the bones of the soldiers from the prior year. And there were just skeletons all over the place. And it really messed a lot of them up. They were really traumatized by it.
Just think of the PTSD from those times.
Oh, yeah.
Man. Jeez. Talk about war shock and stuff. Jeez.
Yeah. Of course, they didn't know anything about PTSD at that time. They didn't even know it existed. So they just, a lot of the soldiers after the war kind of went crazy. And that's why if you look at a lot of the insane asylums in the South sprung up soon after the Civil War. And that's what a lot of their patients were Civil War soldiers that simply couldn't deal with the trauma. And a lot of them actually became, I say a lot, a small percentage of them, but several of them actually became outlaws out west because they were so used to just traveling and, doing horrible stuff that it felt wrong for them not to do it. So they just went out, if I remember correctly, I think it was Jesse James was a Confederate. Jesse James and his brothers were Confederates.
Right.
So, and that was one of the things that led them to be outlaws.
Plus they were part of the Knights of the Golden Circle too, weren't they?
A few of them were. There were a huge amount of fraternities that popped up after the Civil War. I know GAR popped up, Grand Army of the Republic. That was for Union veterans. And Knights of Pythias, the Masonic, all that popped up right after the Civil War. Of course, Masonic was there before the Civil War, but it really exploded after the Civil War.
It got mainstream.
Yeah. And you got your
Josie Wales. Now, is the outlaw Josie Wales a fictional character of Clint Eastwood's, or is that historic?
I'm not sure if
I think it's a fiction.
probably a fictional character, but
Yeah,
I wouldn't honestly. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if it was based off of a real event.
It could have easy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there were people just like what happened in that movie.
Good movie too.
Yeah, I liked it. One of my more favorite.
I think I'm gonna watch. I think I'm gonna watch it after the show comes there.
Excellent.
On BitChute, they have some creators on there that's all they do is show a lot of old movies and stuff. I've been watching old movies.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think we asked this. What made you decide to put your lifestyle and to share what you do with the world on YouTube?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I really like just in general sharing the stuff that I found, and some of the stuff I found I think really helps, for lack of a better word, inspire some of the people that have just started detecting, or maybe they've been detecting for a while and they're starting to lose hope. They see somebody like, it's the same thing that Aquachigger does. I mean, Aquachigger inspires a lot of people to either start metal detecting or continue metal detecting because they see the kind of stuff that he's finding. And that's part of the reason I did it. Plus, I mean, it's just fun for me to share the stuff that I found. I mean, especially on Facebook. I started up the Facebook group Civil War Unearthed to just see what everybody else is finding and just let it be a platform for everybody to share the Civil War stuff that they found. And I think it's got like 3,500 members now, so it's really going up there. But yeah, I actually have a TikTok account as well that I do. I do a lot of different stuff on there. I do restoration videos on artifacts and.
Oh, I'll have to look for you on TikTok then. Is it Civil War Unearthed there too?
No, they wouldn't let me put that for some reason. It's Relic Riley, all one word on there.
Okay. And I'll have to look for you after the show.
Yeah.
I think Mark Miller just paid you a really nice compliment, and I just want to reiterate it as well. He said, this kid is a very knowledgeable young man, and actually I've learned quite a bit from you. So I just wanted to let you know how impressed I was for the knowledge that you've been able to share with us, man. I really appreciate it.
And like I said earlier, he's one of these kids. I don't mean that disparagingly.
Oh, I know. I'm right on the border.
He's one of these kids that gives me faith that we're going to survive this.
Yeah.
Because there's more of him than there are the other ones.
Thank God. We just hear more about the other ones.
We just hear more about them.
But fortunately, you're right, Jesse, and he is. I have to agree.
When he mentioned Aquajigger just now, it popped into my head that the T-shirt back here, I've gone through and looked for clip art of metal detectors and stuff like that. So I typed in metal detectors in Google, right? And then I go to images. So the first thing you come to is a bunch of pictures of metal detectorists. Guess who's on there like 2 or 3 times? Aquajigger. His face is planted on there. Then you got to scroll past there to get to the clip art and other stuff, But it popped in my head when you said that.
He's a cool dude.
That's what I've heard. I know Drew and Jocelyn speak very highly of Bo and quite a few others that I've talked to. Digging with Deej also has
Yeah.
met Bo and says he's really personable. He was a great guest on our show.
Yeah, he was.
I would love to meet him one day, but here's the funny thing about Bo. Regardless of what kind of treasure hunting he's done, what I want to do with him the most is go spelunking.
Mm.
I like caving, Rose. I like caving.
I've been spelunking my whole life. It was my dad took us all the time. I love spelunking. I love it. And there's some caves not too far from here, Ed. So if you guys make it down to do some bottle digging with us, maybe we can squeeze a little bit of spelunking in.
Oh yeah,
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. So it's getting near 8 or 10 o'clock now, Ed.
one question. We have 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes.
I want to speak on this one more time too before we go.
Okay, our friend Digging with Deej from Michigan wants to know, how many years have you been detecting?
I'm going on 8 now. So yeah, eight straight years of digging. I kind of dug on and off for a couple months in 2013, and then towards the end of 2013, I really got into it steadily.
That's cool.
Yeah, Deej, you brought it up earlier in the show, but he said it was his dad who bought the detector, and then he went out with his dad, and his dad got him hooked.
Right,
which I think,
but I didn't remember how long.
yeah.
Since then, my dad's actually gotten hooked back on it.
Yeah.
Does he go out with you quite a bit?
Yeah, it's usually me and him. If he's at work or something and I don't have to work, I usually go out by myself or with a friend of mine. But yeah, he doesn't like hunting unless the conditions are perfect. He's not going to get out there when it's 100 degrees.
Right. I can't blame him there.
Yeah. I'll get out there no matter what weather it is.
Well, you're young.
Yeah. I can survive it for the most part.
Well, I hope you enjoyed your time with us tonight, Riley.
Yeah, it was a blast.
It's been fun. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, I've had a great night with you on.
Yeah,
I really appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, and I think the chat room did too. I mean, they like they said, very knowledgeable. Only Nugget Dogging was on you.
Quite a few compliments, Riley.
Yes,
I don't know if you guys put it on. People you really did, like you said, educate a lot of us. So thank you.
I agree.
I appreciate it. Hopefully, everybody enjoyed it.
Oh, I did.
I'm gonna say yes for everybody. I'm gonna give you a thumbs up.
Hashtag yeah if you all enjoyed our guest tonight. Show Riley some love and hashtag yeah or you betcha. What an awesome live. Thanks everyone. Laura, do you carry distilled water to clean off stuff? John asks.
Is that a question for me?
Yes.
Oh yeah. No, I usually depending on what it is that I find, I usually don't touch it when I'm out. If it's a bullet or something, it's not gonna hurt. I'll just wipe it on my pants. They're pretty tough, but if it's a button or something, I usually don't touch it till I get home. If I find a silver coin or something, I'll open up a bottle of water and kind of just dab it on there and make sure I get some of the dirt off, because I don't want it rubbing around in my little box that I carry with me. But I don't carry a spray bottle or anything.
Well, it looks like they loved you as a guest. They're you betcha. Yeah. Just got in. Better late than never, Jeremy.
Yeah, sending some links to his channel right now, guys. This is his YouTube. He's also on Facebook and TikTok.
And if you're interested in his Facebook group, Civil War Unearthed on Facebook, and if you missed the link that Rose just put up, link to his channel is down in the description below.
And for those of you that are checking out my channel, I'm going to be posting another video within the next couple of days. It's going to be a really good hunt, so stay tuned for that.
Excellent. Now Jesse has a quick pitch about the shirt.
This shirt going is being raffled right now from now until Flash Bash. I've got all the stickers that I was able to get that I had available. If you want yours on there, email me the file to it and I'll get it on there. So email the file of your sticker to ToledoJess@AOL.com. I'll get it on there. And if you want to buy a raffle ticket, you send it to Ed. The money that we make on that goes to Flash in Your Pan to help us bring you more shows. You know. So $1 a ticket. Buy as many as you want.
And there's still the link to my PayPal me pinned to the top of the chat.
Right. Mr. Lodak, send it. I'm going to be doing another shirt for Flash Bash that we'll be raffling off there at Hash Bash.
Flash Bash.
Flash Bash. So we'll be raffling off another one there. It will be like that one, but it will be different. I mean, I'll have everything in different spots, except of course, you know, Flash in Your Pan Tuesday night Hangout Live is going to be up top, front and center, of course. But yeah, if you want yours on there, send me the file. I'll get it on there.
Wait, Steve. Wait. I just saw something that we might have to go into overtime with Riley.
Yeah.
Steve
Oh,
Adams just said, have you mentioned that you're a storm chaser?
No, I haven't, but I've gone live a couple times on Facebook doing it. I do that kind of in my free time. Being in the South, there's plenty of storms to chase. We actually had an EF1 tornado that came about 20 miles north of my house. I think it was last weekend or the weekend before.
Oh.
And I went up there and chased it some. I got to it at the tail end of it right before it picked up, but I did get a few pictures of the funnel cloud and some other stuff, but it did a decent amount of damage. It didn't injure anybody though, thankfully. But yeah, I do storm chase on occasion. Hopefully within the next 3-4 months, I'll be working with the Memphis National Weather Service as one of their storm spotters. So
sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I know this, Riley. I'm not a native to the Midwest. I've only lived here about 20 years now or so. I will get a picture of a funnel on the ground before I leave. I will get it. Video would be better, but I'm going to capture some type of video or photo of a tornado before I bail.
Yeah. it's a adrenaline rush for sure. It's crazy.
Oh,
I was freaking out when I saw that one the other day. Of course, it's a mixture between excitement and
scared,
terror, because it's like, one wrong move and that thing could drop down on top of me. But thankfully, I've been trained and I have access to their advanced National Weather Service advanced radars, so I can tell exactly where it's going and how to stay out of its way.
Now, do you have like a special rig that you could have your laptop and stuff in with your radar and all that?
I don't have a laptop yet, but I use my phone right now. Hook it in on my console so I can glance over at it while I'm driving. I've got I don't have a radio yet, but I do have, when I finish the rest of my training, I'll have a direct call line to the National Weather Service to report in on stuff that I can use a CB radio for. So that'll be pretty neat.
I hope that's the right email I'm putting out there, Jesse.
Yeah, I just got an email from Deej.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Now, do you like caving also? There's a lot of caves in the South. So,
Well, unfortunately, I'm down in a flat area in the Mississippi bottoms and Tennessee Valley, so I don't have as many caves, but I am within a couple hours driving time of some caves in Middle Tennessee, and I have been over to a few of them, but most of them are gated. You can't really get in them because they don't want somebody, going in there that's inexperienced and getting lost or something.
Right.
But I would like to in the future.
Right on.
As long as there's not spiders. I don't like spiders.
Not worried about snakes, but no spiders.
Yeah, just as long as they mind their own business, they're okay, but don't touch me.
I can't blame you there. There's some pretty nasty spiders.
Yeah, there are.
Again, thank you very much for joining us tonight, Riley. I had a great time, as though all our friends out there got a boatload of hashtags, oh yeah, and you betchas, and yeah. I appreciate you joining us, and you are now officially part of the Flash fam, if you like it or not, Riley.
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate you guys inviting me on.
And later I'll send you a message, get your address, send you some Flash in your pan stickers, and
okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Maybe do a sticker swap, but they're gonna say it's a rule of 5.
Rule of 5. So he's gonna send you 1. You're gonna send us 5.
That'll work. I'll take it.
Send some big stickers out too, so you get 2 different stickers. So.
All right.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
I don't have stickers.
I don't either.
We're gonna have to do stickers, Dano.
I'm
We're gonna get together.
I'm nobody. I just topped 400 subscribers after 7 years. I'm nobody.
Whatever, Dano. You're my brother. Right. You're somebody.
I know.
We're gonna say goodnight. I gotta go pick up my granddaughter. She's a 16-year-old kid working her butt off, so I gotta make sure she gets home.
All right. Everyone, thank you very much for joining us for this week's Tuesday Night Hangout Live with our new friend Riley. We wouldn't do it if you weren't here for us. I greatly appreciate it, and I think they do too. Next week is my favorite time of the month, where when we get one of you to join us in Zoom for Open Line Tuesday, where you are our guest. And make sure you mail in that treasure porn to flashinyourpan@gmail.com so we could share it with the globe. Until next.
And if you're worried about coming on, don't be afraid. Just come on and hang out. You'll have fun. You'll get used to it.
Believe me, if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, if I can do it, anyone can do it.
Enough said right there.
That's it. So yeah, especially you guys have been wanting to come on, but haven't been hesitating. Come on, say hi. We'll talk to you, make fun of you, whatever.
Let you make fun of us or Jesse.
Yeah, that's good. Ryan, if you're still in the room, send me a file of your sticker so I can put it on the t-shirt. You too. You know who else? Smith Gold, Two Toes. Who else? Top Cat, of course.
I don't.
Any of you guys, you're listening, send me your sticker file so I can put it on this shirt.
Balls, Dano Balls, Deej. I think he's bringing some to Flash Bash.
You get to taste my balls at the bash.
Before the show goes left again, Everybody have a great night. Thank you for joining us. Until next week, may you always have a flash in your pan.
You know what he's gonna say next.
That's right, Rose, because it happens, huh, sister?
Sure does.
Maybe
does.
one day, too, we'll meet you on the river. Good night, everybody. God bless. Love you all.
Bye, guys.
Everybody.
Thank you, Dee.
Bye, Rose.
Thank you guys.
Bye, Ed.
Gold Pro Unlimited. Tell Riley. Thanks and great job. Thank you, brother.
GPU, Mr.
Balls,
Larry.
are they? They're Buckeye balls. Chocolate and peanut butter. They're delicious, Teach. You'll find out.
You bet.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
See you guys.
Dennis Hedrick. Jeremy, good night. Mark, good night. Wasn't it Mark's birthday today?
No. Charles Muller.
I didn't see him.
Probably celebrating.
Oh, okay.